Hey folks, welcome back. This is going to be super short. For one, I'm cold. We've been in such a heat wave, and now it's turned off quite chilly. It is 62, but there's hardly any moisture in the air, but it feels cold. But yesterday I wasn't feeling quite right, and Cousin Shay's got the same thing. There's something going around where you feel really nauseous, and that come on yesterday at work. I wasn't sick, but I can tell you, it was you didn't know. So there's something going around. I got home at 2 this morning. I always check on my birds, and found a whole bunch of Muscovy ducks hatched out yesterday. I haven't had a chance to count them because Mom is quite protective and she's in the coop with them. So way in a back corner, being a good mama. There's also another mama in there with 4 baby Muscovies that hatched last week, right? So look like a lot of yellow in that corner, folks. So I will be showing them when she brings them out of the coop. So we got some rain yesterday. Where I worked, we got a pile of rain. It doesn't look like we had as much here, but everything is full that was under the eaves. My 48-gallon rain barrel filled up. Both 48-gallon rain barrels filled up under the back of the woodsheds. But this one here, right beside me, that's closest to the birds, tipped over. So I had a full 48 gallons that just tipped over on the ground. I think it might have had some help tipping over. Tracks where something had walked through that looks like a bare human foot. So, and the only thing that'll do that is either a human barefoot or an actual barefoot. So I'm assuming that's what happened. It's happened before. So I think what I'm going to have to do is sit this barrel back up, get it ready for the next rain, whenever that's going to be, and attach it to the side of the woodshed so something would really have to work at it to tip it over, right? So there's 48 gallons that I lost. So this morning I got up, and apparently, I don't know if I dreamt about it or if it's on my mind before I went to bed. I don't remember even going to bed last night or early this morning. I was so tired. And again, I didn't feel all that great yesterday. So I crashed. But for some reason, I woke up this morning thinking about Gathering Baskets Homestead's video on them making sauerkraut and their tamper that they used. Well, I did end up watching that video yesterday or the day before, and to get a better look at that sauerkraut tamper. You put the sauerkraut in a jar and you tamp it down. Well, I thought that was pretty ingenious. I don't know if it was made specifically for that or what, but I've always used my knuckles. Older German lady that I knew years ago, she also did it with her knuckles. I've never seen it done any other way than by tamping it down, bruising the cabbage, if you will, other than a fist using the knuckles. Well, every year, the tamping down of the sauerkraut really bothers my arthritis. Every year it gets worse. So when I saw that wood tamper that Gathering Basket Homestead was using in their video, I said, I need one of those. I just need one of those. So, and she was nice enough to post a link where I could buy one. So I'm like, well, I could make that quite easy. Before, if I ordered that, it was like $40 or close, if I remember right. And by the time I ordered that and it got delivered to me, I could have had one all made. So that's where my mind was this morning. So I went out to my brush pile, hoping to find either a beech limb, dead limb, or a maple limb. I knew I had probably a dead cherry limb because I cut a lot of cherry this year, cherry trees, wild cherry trees, and so that was my mission this morning. So I went out to the brush pile and I found a limb that was dead that I had cut. Here's the end that I cut off the tree this spring or last fall. Either one, probably last fall. And I cut it. I didn't measure it. I said, yeah, that's about long enough. If I'm making it in quart jars, because I don't make mine any bigger than in quart jars, because it's just me eating it, right? That's long enough for me not to ram my knuckles down onto the top of the jar. So I peeled it off. The bark was pretty loose. All I had to do is lift it and pull, right? And it came right off. And then I took a piece of sandpaper and beveled the end here where I cut today and sanded that a little bit with just a small piece of sandpaper. And I wasn't going to do this end because this end is going to be my handle, right? Going to be my handle because it's smaller on this end than this end. Not by much, but it is. And where I had taken the bark off, the cambrium layer was all over it. Well, I sanded the cambrium layer on this end that is going into the jar, this end here. And this end here, the cambrium, the handle part of it gave a pretty good grip. So I worked it in my hands for a little bit, like I would if I was making sauerkraut and the cambrium layer was coming off. So that the cambrium layer, the grippy part, had to come off. So I did that just enough to still have a little bit of a grip. That'll fit a wide mouth, a regular mouth jar. And if for any reason, I can't imagine, but if any reason I made sauerkraut in like an 8-ounce jelly jar, this end would be too big, but the handle end I could use for jelly jars. So it's hardwood, and somebody I sent a picture to, Stephanie, I don't think you've seen that. I don't think you've seen that message yet. I called this cherry. No, everything has been cherry wood today for some reason. If it's maple, I called it cherry. If it was beech, I called it cherry. If it was pine, I called it cherry. For some reason, cherry's on my noggin. So this is maple. And I think it'll work pretty good. I really do. It's kind of pretty. Kind of pretty. And it should work. It should work. So there's that. So I know last Monday, I think a week ago, I said that I was going to do a video on my experiences with the compost toilet cover material. Well, last week it was so mercifully hot that I was lugging a lot of water in the heat and just trying to keep the plants alive. I've got several gardens here, just trying to keep them alive, lugging water when it's so hot. It was quite a chore, folks. It was quite a chore. So I didn't get to that video, but I plan on doing that video tomorrow if something doesn't come up. So I know some of you are quite interested in that topic. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do a video on what I have tried, how long that cover material lasts, how much I have to have in the house at one time, in my bathroom at one time. The weight depends on what cover material you use, the weight of the bucket, when you haul it out, how much you need per bathroom use, how much for me, my experience, and if I liked it or not. There's one that is superior in my opinion, and there's one that I won't try again, which is something that I used last week. I did a trial last week with one cover material, and I didn't find it worked well at all for me here. I'll also talk about the storage, how to or how much you have to store if you're in the colder climates like we are here in Maine, how much you should have on hand for winter use of each kind. So that's tomorrow's video with any luck. Hope you all are behaving. And thank you for being here. And you all have a good night. Be good.